Hello. Hello. Are you ready for mystery? Spooky things? Things of the universe? Yes, this is a little torch. It's got this, well, it's got some planets and the sun on it, and it's shined on the roof, but yeah, not quite the right setting. Let's see if I can make it shine in here. Let's see. Bring it up to shine on it. Yeah, not working. It's fun, but it shines things on the roof. But now that I've got an extra light on, it was just too bright. I hope you're all ready for a bit of mysterious fun. I brought along a mystery to look at, and it's the Dighton Rock, which was originally, which is Massachusetts, located in what was then the town boundaries of Dighton in Massachusetts. It is 5 feet high by 11 feet long, and it has petroglyphs all over it. The petroglyphs were there when people settled the area. This area is part of what is also known as the Bridgewater Triangle. Lots of spooky happenings and everything there. So this is a thing showing the petroglyphs on the rock. So this is what I'm going to be looking at today. Hi, Alexandra Bellino. Hi, Melinda Ducha. Hi, Greta. Hi, Mims. The other thing I'm thinking of looking at is a disappearance. So there's so many planes and stuff that have disappeared over stuff. I'm not going to look at MH70. There was a Convair Flight 54, and that disappeared. Convair B58. Shoot down. No. Disappearance. I haven't got it in the notes here because I wrote the notes down somewhere else. B54D disappearance, January 26, 1950. Now it's going on 70 years since this plane disappeared, and so there's still a possibility that, you know, people who were related to people lost on this flight might still be alive. So, but it is fascinating. Well, have a look at that. Right, yeah. Convair Flight 54. Now it disappeared. Had 44 people aboard. Okay, and it took off from, it was on 26th of the 1st, 1950. Okay, it took off. I had 2 civilians, but mostly they were aircraft people, 36 passengers, including 2 civilians, a woman and her infant son. They were mostly all service personnel. Hi, Beverly Spencer. Hi, Ewat. It was part of the 1st Strategic Support Squadron for Strategic Air Command out of Biggs, AFB, Texas. but it was flying from, I think it was Fairbanks. It was flying from Alaska. Okay, it was en route to Alaska to Montana. The aircraft made its last radio contact 2 hours into its 8-hour flight. It was one of the largest search and rescue efforts. So, largest group of American military personnel ever to go missing. So what I'm going to do is just grab this text. And paste it here. Yeah. And okay. Just with that. And I'll print it up so that you can look at that when the time comes. Now that's the two mysteries I'm bringing along. Hi, Flora. Hi, Alexandra Bellino. Hope you're gonna, yeah, it was an interesting day. Now, has anyone got a mystery they want me to look at? Old Hollywood mystery, perhaps. What really happened to this person or that person. I've always been intrigued about George Reeves, the guy who played Superman. So this is the Convair, the C-54 disappearance. Okay, so that's the other thing I'm going to look at. Anyone got any suggestions of something else I can look at? Because I'm going to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So anyone got a mystery they want me to look at? Yes, it's been an interesting day. Maya asked to read on Dorothy Kilgallen. She was a famous columnist. And was it Murder or Suicide? Oh, for Thelma Todd. I actually did a mystery tour on the Thelma Todd one. So go through and look for the ones called Mystery Tour, Thelma Todd. I did a whole video on her. Yeah, I did a whole video on Thelma Todd. So Dorothy Kilgallen. Okay, so let's have a look at Dorothy Kilgallen. So we'll have a look here. First, we'll feed her name into. Yes, I did a 3-part series on Amelia Earhart, Alexandra Bellino. You'll see that. I did a 3-part series on her. So, yeah. Okay, Dorothy Kilgallen. American journalist. Okay. Dorothy she was 52 when she died. Okay. I'm going to put her image in the thing first for a printer. Okay. Very pretty lady. Okay. Born July 3, 1913, died November 8, 1965. Journalist and game show panelist after spending 2 semesters in the... She worked for the Hearst Corporation, the Voice of Broadway, show business, news and copy, such as politics and organised crime. So she wrote front page article. Wow. She was determined not to be put in a quiet little corner, wasn't she? You know, and oh, it's all right, dear. You should just, you know, just report on your Hollywood stuff and your gossip show. She wrote front page, but she also looked at politics and organised crimes. She wrote front page articles on the Sam Shepherd trial. That was the serial killer, wasn't it? And the John F. Kennedy assassination. So she was determined not to be buttonholed. She doesn't want Frank Sinatra. The trial of Sam Shepherd, the doctor. Oh, that's the guy who The Fugitive was based on, right? And publicly skeptical of the conclusions of the Warren Commission. Okay. She's found dead in her. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Should be very interesting to look at. Okay. She was determined not to be pigeonholed as the gossip columnist lady. I get the looking at her. She didn't let people tell her what she could and couldn't do, and she would not be frightened off by saying, "Now, see here, girlie." She was found dead after 3 days. Wow. Oh no, Jody. Jody Huisentruit, missing since 1995. She was an okay. Hi, Donna L. Young. Hello, Pamela Bryant. Hey. So we'll print up Dorothy Kilgallen. Okay. Print her. And Jody Huisentruit, missing since now. Is this Jody person, was she found dead 3 days later, Beverly? Or Pamela? Yeah. Oh yeah, and the lid was off it. The lid off it, and she was found 3 days later. Found dead 3 days later. Yeah. Okay. This missing news anchor. Okay. We'll have a look at Jody Huisentruit. Huisentruit, American news anchor. Legally dead, May 2001. What happened to her? Okay. We can have a look at Miss Huisentruit too, okay? Now, so we've got mysterious rock, a disappearing plane, 2 mysterious steps. Now, I certainly do not want to make light of anything to do with the families of the missing people we look at. So make it very clear that, you know, there's no offence intended or anything if you know, I always have the disclaimer put up there, okay? But I am sincere in asking for mysteries to look at because, you know, some people might she was believed to have been abducted, okay. And let's have a look at her disappearance. Okay, I'll just go to that. So her disappearance. So I'll just get this. Okay, I won't look at the investigation part of this. I'm just looking for the basic information. Okay, so yeah, I just want everyone to be clear that yes, this is a bit of a fun thing, but I you know, would never ever do anything to hurt the memory of these people or cause distress. So that is definitely not the aim of looking at some of these mysteries, okay? So I hope that that's understood. And that's one of the reasons why I won't look at children either and stuff. Her name is Kilgallen, okay? Yeah, her name is pronounced Kilgallen. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. The lady. Yep. Dorothy. Yep. Kilgallen. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've got a couple of missing people to look at, and a missing plane, a mysterious rock. Has anyone got something different that's not missing people or you know, or mysterious deaths? Got a mysterious death. Got a missing person. Jody. So I didn't look at the investigation for Jody's disappearance here because I don't want too much information. So anyway, what we might start with is we'll make a start with Dighton Rock. Okay. Now, first thing, I'm just going to say a very quick prayer of protection. Hey, Bubby, can you do me a coffee? Sweetheart? Just... Oh, yes. I do have the... Okay, I'm coming back. My coffee maker is coming. He broke down. Triangle devils, what are they? What are triangle devils? Oh, you've gotten a hello, hubby.
Hi, guys.
Everyone behave. Hi, J-Lo, sorry. Pamela Bryant, Melinda. Sorry, I just had to disappear then, but I do need my coffee. We ran away from home this afternoon.
Yeah.
We were only gone for a few hours, but we ran away from home. Went down to Frio, where my hubby says he really would have loved to have moved to. We probably could have, you know, when we were building this, getting the money for this house, we probably could have bought down there back then. It's Fremantle, Frio is. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to run away from home for a little bit, and we did. Spooky, 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 spooky. That should really go on that one, shouldn't it? Because that's bigger. Yeah, that's a bit safer. That one can go on that. Things disappear through or over. Oh, the Devil's Triangle. That is Bermuda Triangle. Isn't it a whole big one all on its own, that one, isn't it? I did a little bit of a prayer of protection, and now we can. Oh. Yeah. We're all sitting here chilling. Now, thank you for being patient while I get this all sorted out. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we'll put a little bit of yeah. Okay, so we might start with I'll leave Dighton Rock till last. That's a very Melinda Dutra, are you calling my husband Sugar Dumpling? Believe me, salt dumpling maybe, but sugar dumpling? So we might actually look at this fascinating lady, Dorothy Kilgallen, journalist. She died in 1965. Her columns featured mostly show business news and gossip, but she also ventured into other topics such as politics and organised crime. She wrote front page articles on the trial of Dr. Sam Shepherd, who I believe The Fugitive was based on, and later John F. Kennedy's assassination. This is the lady here. The reason I print up the basic information in pictures is so that I can get a bit of a, you know, deeper reading into it.
There you go.
So,
Take that.
thank you, sugar dumpling.
There you go.
A southern lady called you sugar dumpling. I'm going to call you sugar dumpling now
I'm out of here.
until you pee me off.
Enjoy.
He made me coffee with cream on top, whipped cream on top. Mm. He's got a deep, sweet voice. He has got quite a deep voice. But sugar dumpling can also lose his sugar. Ones that sit back with blank stare. Oh, well. Thank you, J-Lo. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons. So we've got 4 mysteries to look at. Maybe we can fit in a little bit more. I've just got to have a think. I'm going to look at the lady's picture. She's beautiful. She was really intelligent. And you know what? She was determined not to be just put into this box of what lady reporters should do. Very smart. Very lovely. Fatal combination of alcohol and barbiturates. Okay, so suicide, accident, murder. First, I'm going to do a little bit of a reading on the lady herself. I'm going to refer to, where's my spread thing? I want to find the right spread. Okay. So I've got this, and I'm going to use the first line because she's in the path, and it's her hopes, her dreams, and her aspirations. Okay. What was the whole situation and the undercurrent of the situation. We'll all put them as the past. Okay. With regards to each one. So I'm going to put out her hopes, her dreams, her aspirations. What was the environment around her with each of those, and the undercurrent and the baggage. So first one, so what was it about her? Got to use the right deck for this lady. She may have looked conventional, but she wasn't. It's like she's secretly laughing at, look at what they're making me wear. This bloody pillbox hat and these pearls. Like, yeah. Line strider. She wasn't content to be put within certain lines. So I'm going to use the line strider tarot for her. Hopes, dreams, aspirations, they can all be put under the one thing, but so her dreams, her aspirations, what were they? I've never really looked at the back of these cards before. It's a bit like the ink blot thing. And what do you see? And some people might see a bird, and I was thinking Dorothy would see a bird taking flight, you know. That sort of thing. Her goals. What was there about her? Her goals. The sun. There was an element of happiness about her. And one of her biggest goals was that people around her were happy too. But that doesn't mean that she would shy away from things just to please people. But she wanted to be seen as more. Oh. Sorry, guys. I don't know how long you've been looking at the top of my head. Oh, I had a bit of experiment moving the thing around before, so I'm sorry. I don't know how long you've been looking at the top of my head for. Okay, so the sun. I don't think it was that long, was it? Just moved just then. Because I held up the deck. Yeah. What's on the bottom? Ace of Wands. Creativity and determination. Determination. Investigative determination. Hi, Deborah Costro. The star. She had real hopes. Real hopes for her future. So of getting even stronger. And she had a lot of hope in what she was working on. Ruby's testimony. She was very skeptical. Hey? Two of Pentacles. She felt it was important for her to look at both sides. Even if she privately thought something, she would still look at the other side as well. So she really had some strong beliefs. And she was a journalist, a manifester of the truth in this instance. But she was good at getting people to, mesmerizing them and manipulating them and getting them to talk to her too. So, what was in the environment around her at the moment? So I'm just looking at her as a person, okay? King of Pentacles. Now, she started out with William Randolph Hearst's papers. So he did play an important part in her life, giving her the opportunity. 8 of Cups. She was told, walk away from this. You know, it's all been decided. It's all been looked at. Hi, Hope Green. I also heard that in the UK that your studies have shown that second shot with AstraZeneca, people are just as likely to get the blood clotting problem as not. And I'm looking at Dorothy Kilgallen, an American journalist and columnist who died in 1965, and there's always been a bit of mystery about her death. Page of Swords. Oh, she was definitely talking to some very interesting people. She wasn't afraid to either. No. The Sam Shepard trial, yeah, they were okay with that. But the Kennedy thing, when she was looking at it, well, the contributing factors to her life at that time. 5 of Swords. Wow. She was really cautious. This can be a card of caution. It's be careful what you go after and what you want, because you might think about what it could cost you. So that was a contributing factor to her life back then. 3 of Pentacles, a group of people. 9 of Pentacles. She really was heading toward, she had her own column and stuff, and she was getting front page stories, and she was getting more of that. And I think she really wanted to establish herself like at the top of her game with the 9 of Swords and with the 9 of Pentacles and all that. And I think that was part of why she was looking at these other stories and issues as well. So that was ambition, was of course a contributing factor in her life. Out there somewhere, or was it destroyed? Okay, Alexandra, I'll ask that too about her work. Okay, now she was found 3 days after she was last seen. So it's last seen on the 4th of June, 1964. 65. No, sorry, wrong day. On the 5th of November, 1965, and she was found dead in her townhouse, Manhattan townhouse, at East 45th, 68th Street. Her death was determined to have been caused by a fatal combination of alcohol and barbiturates. Now, first I'll ask, was her death an accident? Was Dorothy's death an accident? No. We've got the Lovers, the Devil, and the Tower. No, they're all major arcana. They're all big impact cards. So the Devil and the Tower are big no's. So it wasn't an accident. The Lovers, that could be a deal. So this to me indicates that there was more than one person involved. If it was the Hermit, I might have thought it's suicide, but the Lovers, just that's two people. So deals made. Now we had the Three of Pentacles there, group work before. Was it murder? The Hermit, the Seven of Swords. Now, we've got the Hermit. You remember I just did the Hermit? If that was in the first one, if the Hermit had turned up in the first reading with the Tower and the Devil, I could see possibly what was suicide, but it was the Lovers, two people. She was about to shine a light on something that people, it might really not have been anything, really, might not have worked out to be anything. But they didn't want that anything coming, people printing anything that might, you know, take away from the picture that they wanted to present in the American people to see. We've got the Seven of Swords and we've got the Six of Pentacles, a deal. Seven of Swords. Sneaking away. I'm getting Five of Pentacles, out in the cold. Ten of Wands. The Hierophant. Some pretty powerful people really did not want her. They wanted her basically, yeah, hobbled. Sneaking away. The sneaking away, and we've got the two swords here. I got the words went through my mind is that they put it in her whiskey or her drink, alcohol. What was it? Didn't they say? Alcohol. So whatever she was drinking, whiskey, brandy, whatever, they knew they were watching her out in the cold. This is an interesting, quite spooky card because she's got dead eyes, just looking. Ten of Wands, they were watching her. There's those Lovers again, at least two people involved. King of Pentacles, corruption, definitely corruption. Anything that might have that stirred in further investigation into what happened with Kennedy was not encouraged by anyone. Yeah, I feel like they went in and they took whatever it was that she was drinking, her tipple. It could have been wine, it could have been brandy, it could have been whiskey, whatever it was, and they mixed barbiturates in the bottle. And then she wasn't found till 3 days later. And I think they then went in and put in a fresh bottle or something. Hi, Scott Allen. I can have a read, Scott, on who I think it was. No, I don't think it was the mob. Was it the mob? Who I haven't really. Someone who's got lots of ties and lots of money and corruption. So it could be the mob. I haven't really thought about who did it, who killed her. Well, thank you for the validation too, Scott. The Hanged Man. The King of Pentacles, again, definitely corruption. 3 of Swords. Two of Wands. 3 of Wands, consequences. Playing out the 8 of Wands. It could have been the mob. I've got the owl, the corrupt businessman. I've got the Hanged Man, which is perspectives changing. You know, there was supposed mob ties with the Kennedys, and 7 of Cups, their confusion. Knight of Swords, chaos. 6 of Cups, looking back. Yeah, they definitely, it could have been the mob. They were definitely looking to stop something coming out and to cover something up. So there's definitely about a cover-up of something. Something to do with the report maybe that she's gotten hold of. Someone could have made it, someone in power could have made a deal with the mob, and it could have been the mobs who did it. So, hi, Deborah Costro. Now, somebody asked what happened to all her papers. What happened to all her work, all her papers, all her notes? Some were destroyed. It's going through my head, so let's have a look. Vodka and tonic, yeah. They put it in, they put a mix of barbiturates in with her drinks and then went in and, you know, made it look like. Basically, they took a bottle that she'd already opened with her own, with her fingerprints and everything on it, you know, replaced it with one that had the same amount and everything and the stuff in it, and then they went in and put the, yeah, took the bottles away. So took the tainted bottle away. What happened to Dorothy Kilgallen's paperwork? 5 of Wands. Ace of Swords. There was definitely some corrupt people in New York. 10 of Pentacles, definitely a lot of money. Eight of Swords, taken and shut away. Put out of sight. We've got the 5 again. Taken and shut away, put out of sight. Death, changed. Yeah, definitely. They were careful with what they took, because if everything was taken, it would have drawn attention. So they were careful with what they took. But still, yeah. Somebody very powerful took it, but left some stuff behind. So, they wanted things hushed up very quickly. And I'll just ask one more quick question. Was it about JFK? Was it about JFK? Oh, she looked like she loved life. The picture I've got of her, just laughter shining out of her eyes. People who really live in laughter, they love life, and they would never do something like that. Might accidentally, but not deliberately, So was this related to JFK? 8 of Cups, told to walk away. 7 of Cups, clouded up. 4 of Swords, back away. Yeah, you don't want to get involved here. Yes, I'd say so. As far as yes, no cards go, they're like, 2 maybes and a no. There's that walking away card. Yes. Yeah, it had something to do with so Alaskan flight. Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at a flight that disappeared from 1950, but that would be interesting, Scott, about the congressman who died in an Alaskan flight. Who was that? What's his name? Yeah. Religious men. Yeah, more than just her journals were taken, but other things were taken as well. Notes, contacts, information on her sources. Okay, we're going to move on from Dorothy. Thank you, guys, for your help. I do hope that Dorothy is at peace and able to rest. Beautiful smile, beautiful energy off that photo. Okay, now the next mystery we're looking at is We'll look at the disappearance of Jody. 1995. She was born in 1968, 2 years younger than me. Declared legally dead in May 2001. She was an American. So it's Jody Sue Huisentruit. That's okay. Flora, I got your message. That's fine. And she went and she was a news anchor for KIMT, the CBS affiliate in Mason City, Iowa. Jody went missing in the early morning hours of June 27, 1995. Soon after telling a colleague that she overslept and was running late for work. Since there were signs of a struggle outside her apartment, she is believed to have been abducted. However, extensive investigations have failed to uncover any clues to her disappearance. The day before she disappeared, she participated in a golf tournament. And then she went to the house of Mason City resident John Van Sansice to view a homemade videotape of a birthday celebration that he had arranged for her earlier that month. When was this? Oh, yeah, that ties in with her birthday on June 5th. About 4 a.m. on Tuesday, Amy Coons noticed that she had failed to report for work as scheduled. She had overslept and she was preparing to leave for the station. Okay. By 6 a.m., she had still not arrived. So Amy Coons filled in for her on the morning show Daybreak. When she hadn't returned by 7 a.m., they called the police. When the police arrived at her apartment, they found her red Mazda Miata left out in the parking lot, as well as other evidence that suggested a struggle. Okay. Again, lovely, bright energy. Feel like the golden tarot for her, this one. Yes, I saw your message for Flora. It popped up. Thank you for that. That's fine. Okay. So she was caught soon after 4. So she was called soon after 4 o'clock. We're going to take it that she was abducted. Did she know who the person who abducted her? I didn't read if she was having any trouble at work. But the first card I've got is the 5 of Swords, yes, as yes, no's go, that's a no. But it also indicates somebody in a position of power. Then we've got the Tower. So changes, big changes affected for somebody. Then we've got the Three of Wands, consequences. It's interesting. Different deck, different person, but I've still got walk away from this, walk away from this. She was told to walk away from something. Big effective changes causing real trouble for an institution or something. She was a news anchor. They still, had reports and all that. Lots of struggle, conflict. She was looking at somebody in a position of power who was abusing it, and she was told, look, you better walk away from this. This is not safe to look at. But she wanted to change the world, and she wanted to bring down that sort of stuff. Okay. Someone in a position of power in either a high-level institution or a government. I mean, you see the Hierophant, and one of the most things you think of is government, but it's not always government when you see the Hierophant. It could be religious, it could be institutional, as a professional, even university for knowledge. She was warned to walk away. It was definitely looking at a deal that somebody made that would have been like a real betrayal of office, or of the position. She had information coming in that would cause conflict, and she hoped settle it. That's why she was abducted. Did she know the person? I didn't see anything that she knew the person, but we'll have another look. Did she know the person who abducted her? No, not really. She might have noticed them around. I don't know if she did any investigations or filed any stories herself as the news anchor, but I think people came to her with information because she was like a trusted face. Did she know the person who abducted her? There's that no card again. Someone who made her uneasy. Yeah, I'm getting that she didn't actually know the person who abducted her, but that she may have noticed them around and made her feel uneasy. You've got the intuition of the Queen of Wands, and you've got the emotional uneasiness. The person, she may have gotten like really mixed up vibes. This is a very unstable person, but it's also, yeah, it's conflict and cause. I don't think it was an obsessed fan. I think it's definitely someone who probably been hired by people to do this sort of thing before, to send messages a bit emotionally unstable, and they've been following her. Iowa. She's not alive, bless her, and she has a really public face, so someone must have been really desperate to get to do this. Yeah, secrets. I've got tipping point. I've got the Two of Swords. I've got clouding the issue, gaslighting, secret, and I've got the High Priestess, secrets hidden. So somebody was really, really desperate to get rid of her. I don't know if it was necessarily government, but I guess someone who was in a high and really well-respected position in some form of institution, but not necessarily government. They'd been embattled. The truth might have come out at a later date anyway. It's got, look, the truth came out about this person eventually anyway, but not about their role in her disappearance. Whistleblower came and spoke about them. They never found her. John Van Sice. That John Van Sice, every time I see that name, I think like he knows something. Not that he was necessarily involved, but she said something to him, or she, you know, or he saw something and he never connected it with her disappearance. So does John Van Sice know something? Actually, I take that back. I think he was involved. They need to talk to him. But that John Van Sice, but not actively, but he does know something. And he may have even had some pressure put on him for some information. So maybe he owed some debt or something, some money to somebody. But he definitely knows more. He wasn't actively involved, but he definitely has some information. Hi, Sheila, Inquisitive Jarrow. So, Scott, I don't know what you got when you did a reading on this girl, Jody, but yeah, I definitely feel that person she went and saw. He knows more, whether he realizes it or not. But, you know, he had some trouble, and that's sort of, yeah, the story of public corruption bribes. Yeah, public corruption is in many ways. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is the disappearance of the C-50 flight C-54. It was a Douglas C-54 Skymaster, serial number 4272469. On January 26th, 1950, it took off from an airport in Alaska, and it was en route to Billings, Montana, I think it was, with 44 people aboard. The aircraft made its last radio contact 2 hours into the 8-hour flight, and despite one of the largest rescue efforts carried out by a joint effort between Canadian and US military forces, no trace of the aircraft has ever been found. It is considered one of the largest groups of American military personnel to go missing. There were 44 people on the plane. 42 of them were military personnel. The other 2 was the wife of one of the personnel on the plane and the baby son. In fact, actually, no, the guy wasn't on the plane. She was flying to join him at his new posting or something. Hi, Anrad. So I'm looking into the disappearance on January 26, 1950 of this plane. I watched a little show on it about how some people think they heard a boom in the sky at some areas. Here's Steve Avery, Scott. I did say 1950, Alexandra Bellino, on January 26, 1950. Okay, God to the high strength and compassion, please help me find. Was it deliberate? Well, the investigation, strong evidence of a deal. Okay. To be set free for a murder case in Okay. If the current case, I won't look at it really, but yeah. Okay, so the DC 54 Skymaster, serial number 4272469. 4272469, serial. Disappeared January 26th, 1950. Was it an accident? Moon, Knight of Swords, quid pro quo, deal, lies and deceptions, chaos. I asked, was it an accident? Yes, I think it was an accident. But there's some details that, well, it was a military flight. There's something on that plane that they've kept hidden. I do think it was an accident. It was an 8-hour flight. I do think it was an accident. This is also a card of innocence, the Fool of Innocence. But there's stuff that there's authorities haven't told everything about what was on the plane or anything. So there's some secrets and lies that they've been told, and there's some gaslighting. It was 1950. The Cold War was getting underway. Worried about perception. So, it was an accident. Was it mechanical failure? Was it mechanical failure? You're welcome, Melinda. Walking away. Processes. This is processes to me often. Processes that should happen. Discussion, talking. He's not paying attention. Not paying attention to what he's doing. You know, he's talking, but he's got the chisel up and he looks like he's going to hit, and he's talking. He's not paying attention to what he's doing. They walked away. Yeah. Something little that caused a failure in the plane caused this to happen, and the process is not being, and it caused heartbreak. Catastrophe. Yeah. If they were to find the wreckage, they could possibly find what failed. And I do feel it was like when the plane was being prepped or prepared or something, that somebody got distracted and they didn't follow the process properly, and at some point something failed. And caused the, so here's the person, the distracted person talking to other people. The tipping point during the flight, and then there's kaboom. Everything changes for the bad during the flight. Yeah, he walked away. He thought he'd done everything, but he hadn't. So he walked away. They walked away, whoever it was. Of course, it caused that turn of fate and this emotional message that had to be delivered. The plane's missing. I'll have a look at your question, Alexandra. So processes and institutions and heartbreak, people losing their families. A lot of people lost a service member. One service member lost his wife and child. Investigations, of course, took place into what happened, but unless they could find the plane, they can't really, Some people over, I'll just zoom in a bit on this map, over past Calgary. It was near the border. There was an area. It was some place near the border of Canada and Montana. There's people who reported hearing a boom. So this, but that would have been quite late into the flight. The last radio contact was 2 hours into the flight. Was the crash soon after that last radio contact? Here's the person speaking. No. It was closer to their destination. So the person speaking, the radio contact, and then we've got the Six of Cups, which is past. So past radio contact would have been well in the past when it happened. They would have been closer to their destination. Was it okay? So was it near the US-Canada border? It's interesting. I got 10 of Swords here, and then it went through my mind like cascading failure. Once the first thing failed, it was a cascade of failures. I asked, was it near but this is also the end of a long night towards the dawn. I asked, was it near the border? That's a no card, but it tells a story of a cascading failure towards the end of a long night. Yes, consequences, and yes, it was closer to the end of the flight. In Canada, we've got the 4 again, the closer to, so yeah, the closer to the end of the flight. We've got cloudiness. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So that's where the change happened. Hi, Jody. I was looking at that name and thinking, have I said hello? Have I said hello? And now somebody asked me if people survived the crash. First 3 cards I got with the King of Cups, the World, the end of one journey, and then the 10 of Swords again, which to me went, no, once it crashed, that was the end. That was the end of their journey. upsetting and emotional as it is. But yeah, yeah. People waited and were hopeful, but yeah, they never found it. But no, I don't think anyone survived the crash. It didn't happen in the air. That boom was nothing to do with the crash. Oh, thank you, Alexander Bellino. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, no, they didn't. That was on the bottom of the deck too. Will the plane ever be found? This flipped out. That's a no. So, but it's still hidden. Oops. Hard work, details. Oh, water, traveling over water. Could be in a lake. It could be in a body of water. There's that tree again. That distracted person. Groups of people have tried to find it. It's been looked for. Legacies. It's left a legacy, you know. No, I think people have gone, and there's even going to be an offer of resources to look for it again. But no, I don't think it's ever going to be found. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think the plane will ever be found. That people will never get real answers to what happened. Yeah. Okay. Now, I've got Dighton Rock here to go, but has anyone got another mystery to look at that they want me to look at? Thank you, Debbie Ferguson. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you. Does anyone want me to look at something else, another mystery before? I want to wrap up with Dighton Rock, but, you know, still happy to look at another one or two questions before I do that. For a mystery, it could be anything. It could be UFOs. It could be a creepy place. I was asking James, is there any place in Perth or Fremantle or somewhere where, you know, you think might have an interesting story or is haunted or something? He's like, oh, no, not really. Has anyone got a place they'd like me to read on? Why it's so spooky? What is it about the place? I've done Skinwalker Ranch, okay. I did that last time, I think. So Oh, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate you watching, whether you can get on live or not. And it's lovely to see, you know, it's lovely that you do that. I really do appreciate everyone who watches. And again, anyone who's not in the chat but is watching, thank you. Anyone who watches later, thank you. I do enjoy doing these as well. I had to delay my pet special from last week. So, yeah. Has anyone got any other mysteries, some mystery place they want me to look at or something? How about Hope Green? Is there somewhere in England? I saw Hope Green earlier. Are you still there? Is there someone somewhere in England you want me to look at? Well, I just have to have a hunt around the globe myself. Let's see. Okay. Lizzie Borden House in Massachusetts. Wow. Lizzie Borden House, Massachusetts. Wow. Well, we know what that. All right. Let's have a look at that. I asked, you answered. Okay. It's the bed and breakfast in Massachusetts. Holy Hill in Wisconsin. People have been healed when they go there. The church is on top of the hill. It's filled with crucifixes. Is this a vortex? Wow, that'd be interesting too. Okay. The Lizzie Borden House bed and breakfast. Is that what you're talking about? NH? And the church, Jody Holy Hill in Wisconsin. Is it a vortex? People being healed. Yeah, well, there's a Lizzie Borden House, a bed and breakfast, and yeah. People healed there. Is haunted. The Holy Hill in Wisconsin. For haunting fund to the historic Lizzie Borden House. About, is it the house? So the history, okay, history. Yeah, it is the house. Okay, so we're going to look at Lizzie Borden House in Massachusetts, which is now a B&B. Is it haunted? And we're going to have a look at the Holy Hill in Wisconsin. When they go to the church. Okay, is this a special vortex? Okay, so we'll have a look at those two, and then we'll do Dighton Rock. Okay, so let's see. Well, if we're going to look at a haunted place, let's get the cards out. Okay, the Ghost Tarot deck. Alexandra Bellino. Hartford, Wisconsin is this the Holy Hill Basilica. National Night. Holy Hill Basilica. In Hartford. Mary, Help of Christians, is a Roman Catholic shrine. Blessed Virgin Mary, yep. Okay, guides of the highest truth and compassion, universal spirit, ask for out of respect. I ask for just a little bit of extra protection here as we are dealing with a very tragic place with a tragic history. Okay, no disrespect is intended. That's just me, you know, covering my butt a little bit. So, yeah. Okay, so. Exciting and curious. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. I haven't done any mystery tour videos for a little while, so I do want to. So if you have any places or mysteries, I've done a couple of old Hollywood mysteries. I've done Amelia Earhart. Did a 5-part one on a 5-part series on Chappaquiddick, the accident that Teddy Kennedy was involved in at Chappaquiddick. That stretches up, that adds up to about 3 hours, that lot. So you could, it'd be good for a binge watch if you wanted to. That was way early. You'd have to go back early. I might have a look in how to maybe put them into a watch list. Okay, so I'll have a look at doing that. Okay, Lizzie Borden House, guides of the highest truth and compassion. Please help me to determine, with all respect to those who have passed, if indeed their spirits are still tied to the house, the spirits of Lizzie's father, stepmother, Lizzie herself, and her sister, are they still on the property? No disrespect is intended. Yes. Yes, they're still there. We've got the Queen of Cups. The Page of Swords. Some people go in expecting a lot and they come out a bit disappointed. The Lady in White. Okay, hang on a moment. On Meridian Road. Valparaiso, Indiana. I can probably have a quick look at her as well, but then after that we'll wrap it up with so Pamela Bryant, I've written your question down, so I'll address that one too very quickly before we do the Dighton Stone. Yeah, so as I was saying, that I think people go in there with high expectations, and some of them might feel a little bit disappointed. It's like these are, you know, echoes of the past, of a very tragic past. The High Priestess, secrets. It's like they're like, I'm not going to. People going into, you know, let's see if they'll spook me. I think that's a bit of a disrespectful thing, but they are there. It is haunted, definitely. But people expect more than actually happens. And we've got the high priestess there. Books, secrets, wisdom. It's a house of many secrets as well. And I'm feeling like actual hidden places and panels and this and that. Yeah, memories. Children. There's a strong attraction with children there. Children, it's often thought that children often are much more sensitive to these things, and that's especially true in Lizzie Borden House. Don't know much about Lizzie Borden's stepmother, but whether she was cruel or horrible, or I do feel like she probably wasn't the nicest of person, but you know, the place was a mortuary as well. Apathy. Yeah, again, this is the Four of Cups. It's falling on top of the Sword of Disappointment, the Page of Swords. Some people, yeah, is this all, you know? They don't appreciate what is there that they've seen. Some people are just, some people go so focused on proving them wrong that it doesn't matter if something could happen right in front of them and they still won't believe it. This is, I feel like, is the mortuary part. Lots of secret spaces down there. Yeah. But judgment, awakening. You might feel like someone's watching you down in the mortuary and not liking what they see. We've got the Five of Coins out in the cold. Definitely areas of cold. But there's some areas where you feel very at peace, very welcome, even a little bit like a loving energy with the Lovers there. Nine of Pentacles. Sitting pretty. I mean, she was acquitted. They were able to just live, you know, and they continued to live in the house and all that, but they could never quite escape all the chatter and all the talk, even talk that maybe it was Lizzie's sister who had more to do with the whole thing than anybody knew. So there was a lot of talk and a lot of chatter. So feeling of judgment. I feel like there's a spot outside of the property, like on the pavement area. If you stop there, hi the face painter, you might think you might hear like in the background, very faint voices going blah, 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 gossip, chattering gossip, but not inside. And they were, I think, felt a bit isolated. I think it definitely goes there. It's definitely haunted. There's some spots where you feel a really loving energy, but there's a spot like outside the house where I don't think a lot of people just stop and stand and look and think, and even if it's near the fence or something. Valparaiso, yeah. Okay, Pamela, no problem. That you might, don't like a group of people. It might feel like there's a group of people chatting and it's down the road, but there's nobody down the road chatting, but it might feel like it's down the road, but it's actually more around the gossip. This is a part of myself that I don't open up very often. So one more line. Resolution was found in the end, and they were able to steer into calmer waters, but there was always there's always a bit of an air in some areas of heartbreak. But yeah. So some places in the house you feel like there's secrets all around you. Some place you feel a little like a loving energy. Some place it's just heartbreak. Children see a lot, and yeah, and definitely lots of cold spots and the usual things you would think. Yeah. So I don't know if I've never seen a show on the Lizzie Borden House, so I don't know if any of that rings any bells. That's just what I get. And that people are often disappointed because they go in with the wrong attitude and disrespect. So okay. Now so what is the church in? Where's that church? Hartford, Wisconsin. Holy Hill Church. Hartford, Wisconsin. Hartford, Wisconsin. So what's the church's name? Holy Hill Basilica. Right, okay. yes, it's out of town. The Catholic Church often built on the highest piece of land in the area. The oldest Catholic church in Perth was built in 1847, and where it was built was at that time on the highest piece area in Perth. I mean, yeah. I could have that wrong, but yes, definitely, like the cathedral in Perth is on one of the highest pieces of land. Did I say high? The face painter, high. So they chose to build outside of the town itself, but it's probably pretty visible. I'm just having a look at it. So it's on a hill, is it? So definitely. Yeah, they often opted to build on the highest piece of land as a way of stating their power. Beautiful. Got some pictures here of it inside the church. It's absolutely beautiful. So there are pictures. If you go look on Google Maps, you can go in and see. Displaced Carmelite friars, hey? Wow. Oh, beautiful. That is just a stunning landscape around it. We've got some drone footage, but yes, you can, you know, it's interesting. So I'll have this picture here. Wow. Is this basilica? Does it have, is it a special vortex? Does it have special healing power? Okay. Let's have a look. You can. It is beautiful. Do you live near there? not built in 1926. Was definitely built as a power, as a show of strength. But there's a smaller church down elsewhere, isn't there? There's definitely a small. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's beautiful. You live 3 hours north. It is beautiful. I've got it. It's in autumn, fall. This picture's shown because you've got reds, greens, and golds. It's beautiful. I am very much ex-Catholic. You know, don't associate with the Catholic Church anymore, but I still appreciate the beauty of some of these places. Okay. Guide to the highest truth and compassion. You can tell me if the Holy Hill Basilica has some special. Is there a special sign, a vortex of some kind? Wrong deck. Sometimes you can look at the cards and it's like, no, you're just not getting anything on, and you're the wrong deck. Wrong deck. So. Please tell me about the Holy Hill Basilica in Hartford, Wisconsin. What is it that draws people there for healing? Is it a vortex? Shouldn't be reversals in the deck. People who go there feel like it will change their fortunes. That is their hope in going there. That it will lead to a change in their fortunes, whether it's health, whether it's for money or for work, even not just for healing, but they feel that there's something special about it. And if they go there, the change and the help that they need will happen. Yeah, people often go there when they're heartbroken as well. That's another reason they go there, for heartbreak, feeling from healing, you know, from illness, heartbreak, healing. It's also, I think, a place where some people go where they feel like they can, when they get there, they go and they get in there and they feel like, oh, I can release the grief or whatever it's been holding me back. It is a place that inspires patience and people, and a feeling of being rebalanced. People come out and they feel like everything's being balanced out within them. A new sense of peace and balance that they get from it. Is it a vortex? It's interesting. I've got the transition card, which in the Connolly deck, in the Connolly deck, and that's the death card. But it's also about transformation and change from one thing into another. Hermit, shining new light. They feel like they come away with a new secret. Tower, great changes. I've drawn 6 cards and 5 of them are major arcana. So this place is a place of great impact. It feels like that they often feel like shaken up, like everything they thought they needed is all just been shaken up. Fresh starts, materialism, they feel like they can leave the mistakes behind. But not everyone comes away happy. Some people come away with a feeling of disappointment. The people who do that, who have that disappointment, making a mistake, they're not going there for, they're just going there for purely material means. You know what I mean? Is there some special significance to the site? Is there some special, it's not the church itself. Materialism again. Conflict, looking way back. Okay. If you go there, hi, Uncle Dan. If you go there, you really have to believe, put yourself voluntarily into a place of facing your demons. If you go there and you don't face the demons, you're really not going to get what you need from the place, which is resolution about issues from the past and moving on from conflicted waters and a transformation into a better life. So you really have to go there with real belief in your heart, with real humility even. And this is the hangman. He puts himself voluntarily into a position which some might see as humiliating. But he's doing it. Queen of Swords, like sometimes you find, yeah, you feel like you're going there and you're laying it all on the table. And in order to find that new balance in life, you really have to spend it, and you have to really answer some hard questions of yourself. It inspires that. So I do feel there's something special about the land itself, that I don't know if it's a vortex. I'm not sure on vortexes, but there is definitely something spiritual about the place. Is there a special energy to the place? I feel like there is, and it's to do with the geology. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Yeah, you can go there feeling lost and feeling confused, and you'll come away feeling new. It is a place, I think, that for as long as there have been people there, they have been attracted to it. So there is something special about the place. Possibly even ceremonies and celebrations have been held there. Possibly even in some time, new leaders might have been elected there. It's always been a very special meeting place. A very special meeting place, always. So, yeah, there's definitely something special about the area. My doggy. Are you back, Beverly? He's fine. Yeah. Good. Okay, now, the road, I will read about the white lady of this road, and then we'll do the Dighton stone, and then we'll wrap it up. So we'll go back to the map here. Meridian Road in Valparaiso. Where's the spelling here? Indiana. Is she real or not? Oh yeah, here it is. Indiana, right? It goes from what's this road? Fire department. What's this road called here? East 900. It is quite a long road, isn't it? Is it true? It's a very creepy, I feel like lots of creepy, you know, heebie-jeebie gripes, you know, vibes off it. But white lady, oh no, Uncle Dan, I was going to do a pet special this past Friday, but I had a bad headache. But I will be doing my pet special this Friday. Is there such a thing as a white lady for this road? Guides at the highest truth and compassion. Yeah, no, not really. No, she doesn't. Got pretty much 3 clear no's. But that doesn't mean there's not something about the road that is creepy. The white lady is more of a lot of town. Oh, the story of the white lady here, or she was wearing white or whatever. But so I don't think she's really there. Hi, J Cat Lady. Oh, we'll just take a break here. J Cat Lady, she's got good morning, everyone. I've been listening. I'm just holding an old kitty cat who is about to cross over. Will you please pray for an easy passing for my Buddha? This is the cat that you had to take to the vet earlier this month. Universal spirit and guides of the highest truth and compassion. Please help Buddha in her passing and crossing over to a better world. And that she is freed from the pain and the illnesses that have beset her. Please help J Cat Lady in dealing with the loss of little Buddha and send her healing light. Oh. You are so beautiful, J Cat Lady. Yes, I'm a mess. We'll just take a couple of minutes. I have an idea that I'm not the only one who's crying. Oh. Okay. I'm just going to go get a drink of water. Okay, and be back in just a minute. And yeah. I know, it's not the first time you guys have seen me cry. That's why I do only do pet specials once a month, because I can really, yeah. Be back in just a moment. Oh. Okay. I am back. Oh my. Yeah. Okay. Still looking at Meridian Road. Just because the white lady is not really there really isn't a white lady there. She's just, it's like people say, oh, white lady's here. Well, we must have one. And it's quite a big road, and it goes through, partly through the town, but it's quite, most of it is, there's tree lines and all that with it. The Indiana Toll Road, and it goes up into Chesterton. The southern part, Rogers Lakewood Park. Rogers Lakewood Park. I mean, it's very pretty. I'm looking at some sort of walkway down in Rogers Lakewood Park, which is at the south on the road. Oh, I just get like really creepy. You're very welcome, J-Cat lady. You're very welcome. Just, there's a stretch of road 700 west north down to where the Rogers Lakewood Park is, down to there, and the park itself, it's like, just looking at the pictures, I got, oh, not very nice area. Yeah, so the 700 north to the 550 north, is it? There's a stretch of road there that bit creepy, and that park is like, I don't know that I would want to visit that park. The white lady, no, she's not a real thing. She's more like a thing that people want to believe, but that doesn't mean and I was just having a thought through my mind that there's been some disappearances associated with that park, with that lake. I don't know if I'm right, if they're known, or, you know, it's a really heavily treed area. Long Lake and Flint Lake have got a lot of people around it, and the southern part of Loomis Lake has got a bit of people, but Loomis Lake and Spectacle Lake are really, yeah. That doesn't mean it's not a creepy road. That part especially, people driving into town. Meridian Road then turns into North Campbell Street, and that's down near the lake. So, but there's a really heavily wooded part of Meridian Road, north of Chesterfield or Cleveland Avenue. Guides of the House, give me some information about this area. Meridian Road, north of Cleveland Avenue, and North Campbell Street near Spectacle Lake and the park. Yeah, disappearances. I felt disappearances. King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Mercenary Knight, and the Lovers, Deals. Yeah, I did feel a lot of disappearances. I think there's quite a lot of, it's a very, very heavily wooded area. The north end of Loomis Lake especially. And I feel like there might be quite a few bodies in there. The Hierophant, Judgment, Witnesses, the Chariot, Abuse of Power. Oh, yeah, all sorts of things. I do feel it was a very popular dumping ground at lots of disappearances that ended up in that area. That area is associated with a lot of disappearances. And also at one time it may have been quite dangerous for women. That wooded area there, it's like, don't know if there's been any stories of somebody trying to get women to stop and help them, but not many do. I don't know at some stage whether there's been any talk of that, like someone trying to attack Chrissy. Thank you, Sherry French. Hello. Susan Allies. Hello. I feel like there's part of that area here that's been quite dangerous for women. So, yeah, it's not a very nice part of that. Not all of the road, but down that southern end of it, where all those trees are, quite dangerous. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any of that rings a bell with you, Pamela Bryant, but definitely the disappearances around that lake, Loomis Lake and all that is any other weird areas someone wants me to look at? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Did they catch the man? He'll go when he's ready. Yeah. Just tell him it's all right, that you'll be okay. But he was caught. Ugh. Was it in that area at the southern end of Meridian Road? I've got it because most of you know I have two screens, and I've got the picture of the road and the southern area of the road, southern end of the road on my other screen. Thank you, Pamela. Yeah. The lake is more the mafia, but that area of the road I feel is like, yeah. Okay, Dighton Rock. Here's a picture of the petrographs carved into the rock. The rock is located near the town of Dighton. It was in the city limits. I think it's not anymore. It was moved when some work was being done in the area, and it's now in a museum. These are very, very old. Okay, these are very, very old. They were first recorded, and sort of drawings like this were first done in around 1670, 1680. What's the thing? 1680 by Reverend John Dunlap. Now, there are 4 theories. Hi, Edna May. There are 4 theories about who put the petroglyphs on them. Native American, Vikings, Phoenicians, or the Portuguese. Now, Oh, there's another mystery from this area too that I would definitely be looking at, and it's Wampin's Belt. But anyway, I just got a note written there. Wow. Well, thank you for that validation. As well, thank you for that validation, Pamela. Geez. Yeah, so I'll look at the Wampin Belt one. I think I might do a whole video on Wampin's Belt. Anyway, on what happened to it. But these petroglyphs. So let's have a look at who put them there. I'm just thinking of what deck to use, guys. So please don't think that I'm being rude or anything and shutting you off. I'm just thinking of what deck to use. I think I'll go with the classic right away. First, I'm going to put the ghost deck away. Yeah, I just brought up that road on. There's a couple of spooky places in the north part of the road too, but just more like. Never heard of Dighton Rock. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, this is a picture of the petroglyphs that are on the rock, and if you go into Dighton, I think it's Dighton where it's located. You can go and see it. It's a big rock. It's like 11 feet long and 5 feet high, and they have been there at least almost 400 years. So. Thank you for joining us, Beverly. Okay, it's the Dighton Rock. So let's have a look. Phoenicians. Go with oldest. Phoenicians. Cloud. Murky. Journey. The talk of the Phoenicians. No. I think that if that was really the case, if it was the Phoenician, there's no, I don't feel it was the Phoenicians. I feel that that's like the least likely. And that was more put forward in an effort to get money. like possibly for archaeological research and all that, but I don't feel like there's a real truth in that. I feel like no, it's move on from that. Yeah. Vikings. I look at it and I do feel like runic runes, that sort of thing. But then the people look a bit funny. It's not Portuguese. They're not Portuguese. In fact, I do feel like not necessarily. I do feel like the two different impacts here. Vikings. Sorry, I've got to find a pencil, guys. I want to write something down. O-R-F-I-N V. Portuguese would have been much more sophisticated. Or what's that? I was looking at this bit here in the circle and O-R-F-I-V-I-J. It could be Orteval. Translator. Language. I don't think I've found anything new, but you know, it just caught my eye. It does sound very Nordic, doesn't it? Orfrowitz. What the fuck does Orfrowitz mean? So Orfrowitz, this O-R-F-I-V-I-J translates as Orfrowitz. O-R-F-E-W-I-T-Z. Orfrowitz was here? I don't know if it's awful, it's me. Oh my goodness. Sometimes the turns you take. Oh, thank you to everyone who gives me thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Oh, it's awful, it's me. Not much any documents, orbits. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's just a bit of very interesting, you know. It's awful VG in any language. It could be a name. I do feel like that's somebody's name. Just try something a little bit different. At first I thought it was an N, and then I thought, no, I think it could be a VI. Orphange. Orphier? What's orphan? No. I do feel like that's somebody's name. Scandinavian. But not all the petroglyphs are. Like there's a real distinct change in style between this one and that one. So, you know, but I feel like it's very runic. Could be a map. A warrior. A family name that's died out, maybe. I think if somebody really did some work, they could find out more about that. It's not going to be me. I'm not an archaeologist. Hiya. It also reminds me, my geographer's brain is really kicking in with some parts of it up here. That part up the top there, that very much reminds me of a map. My geographer's brain is really, really kicking in. Is it a map? Maps aren't always just about roads and trails. Is it a map? Heaven knows what it would be a map to. Guides of the highest truth and compassion, please help me in finding clarity and objectivity into the question of the petroglyphs on the Dighton Rock. Yes, I am talking about the Bridgewater Triangle, Sherry French. I saw a show on it, a documentary on it, and was really fascinated by a lot of the things in it, including the Dighton Rock. There's also, what is it? What is it? The Solitude Rock. Who put the poem there? Also, the mystery of Wampum's Belt, which I'm thinking of doing a video on. What happened to it? So yeah, I am talking about the Bridgewater Triangle. Is it a map? Is it a map? No. Well, there you go. My geographer's mind is no, it's not a map. But it's sort of like boundaries. No, it's not a map. It's not a map. Could be a fish. does it have something to do with the Vikings? I get a mix. I do feel like those. Not a classic map, at least. Vikings. The Star, that's a yes. Ace of Pentacles is a yes. Yes, Dominion. Definitely Vikings. Okay, so we've got Vikings have contributed to part of the rock. This looks... I really am fascinated by this one. The wampum belt. Thank you for correcting my spelling of it. Thank you. Wampum. WMP. WAMPUM. Okay. Vikings, definitely part of it. This looks like something that holds water, like a vessel of some kind here. This thing here. Okay. I absolutely love this little drawing to the side. This dude over here, he's a big, broad. So it's definitely Vikings in some way are associated with it. But also yes, I am turning. Oh my goodness. I just turned it upside down. And have a look at this. Does this here look like somebody shooting an arrow or something? Where is it? Here? But then everything else is like the people are the other way around. So unless someone got a bit very interesting. But now these dudes in the heart, this little family group here, they look like they're standing next to sort of a gateway or something, and there's a path leading off to some mountains or something. Was some of it done by Native Americans? Let's have a look. So some of it can be attributed to Vikings. Was some of it done by Native Americans? Because the strange angularity of some of it, and then the more freer curves and lines of the other, just speak to two different hands. Looks like a warrior with a crossbow. Yes. Vikings, yeah. those who were there and had autonomy, those who were at comfort. And the woman in this, she has control over the bird, like she was at one with it. Those who would defend their area. This was a significant event. It caused a few things. But yes, I do think that some of the carvings are from Native Americans too. But they're contemporary, no different passes of time. So this would have been quite significant. Okay, these were warriors, people who defended their people, a knight in defense, in battle, and the group they were at one with the resources around them, in control. They were a group of people. Yep. Yeah, so some of them were done by the Native Americans. I wonder how that dude got upside down. I mean, it does look like it, doesn't it? I don't know much about runes, so it would be interesting to see how many runic symbols could be outlined on the. I might print this up again, and oh look, the Vikings. I saw a cartoon the other day, and it had Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landing on the moon, and they're walking behind a rock, and they're like, "What? Ah, no!" And there's this Viking ship. and skeletons of Vikings on the moon, like, oh, they land everywhere. So yeah. Oh yes, it's very probable that Vikings had interactions with Native American people. More than likely. I mean, it'd be really, really unlikely that they didn't. I'll ask once more if that section there with sort of looks like a crossroads and stuff, is it a map? The first reading I got said no. This dude looks like he's carrying something over his shoulder, like a hoe or an implement of some sort. It could be a bow, an arrow. It's just strange that he's so angular and the other ones are like much more freehand. It seems highly unlikely that they wouldn't have taken some Native Americans with them. Oh, I didn't ask a question of that. Is it a map? Is it a map? Is that fish-shaped thing a map? No, I'm getting the no again. I'm getting the no again. It's not a map. It's not a map. No. Wow, I could look at this all night, but it is getting pretty late. We've been on 3 hours. And yeah, and I really do feel I'm going to have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me. I love doing these things. You can always send me an email at footprinttarot@gmail.com if you have an idea of a place that you want me to look at. I'm definitely going to look at Wampumsbelt. That was fascinating part to me. The whole area was is associated too with King Philip's War as well, and as well as other things. The Plymouth Colony. There's so many things. Freetown, yeah. Like I said, there's Solitude Rock. There's the Thunderbirds, 12-foot windspans. Hockomock Swamp is apparently. I've got Lake Nippenicket, Phantom. Yeah, I might have to watch it again. Thank you guys so much for joining me and in this. And please take care of yourself. J Cat Lady, blessings to you. And it's Buddha. You know, it's okay to tell him that he can go. Or she can go. And please, everyone, take care of yourself. I will be back on tomorrow. Tuesdays I normally do Lenormand and stuff. So I don't know if I will yet. We'll wait and see. I might not this week. Do my Lenormand readings this week, but I might. We'll see. So thank you all very much. Stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and stay loving. And we will talk to you. I'll talk to you later. You did. You told us that she could go. Okay. Has Buddha passed? Buddha hasn't passed yet. It's like, no, not yet. You've told him you can let go, and he will when he's ready. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Love you all. Yeah. And we'll leave you. I'm going to go off and have another little cry. But thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye.